Oftentimes in life, we tend to base our worth on our careers, how much money we have, how many friends we have, our relationships, and a lot of other external factors. But what happens if those factors begin to vanish from our lives? What are we then left with? Living in such unstable and uncertain times, the only thing that we can count on to be constant is change itself. We must learn to find the value within. That is far more tangible because placing our value and worth on things outside of us that is forever and constantly changing, which we have little to no control over, seems to be a recipe for the downfall of our emotional stability. It's so easy to be controlled emotionally by the things that happen to us in our lives, and understandably so. So, in knowing that, we have to learn to draw a line that separate ourselves from the things that happen to us so that we can have a chance at being able to function properly, even in the midst of the world crumbling around us. When the sun rises at the start of a new day, it feels hopeful to see the light of day and to have a fresh start, a new chance and opportunity to try to make your day better than what was before then. To wake up to a new day, a whole new day ahead of you, how can you use that time wisely? It's much easier to be negative, so the challenge is to overcome that and channel in positive thoughts, energies, perspectives, and mindsets. So today I will do just that. Today I seek peace in myself and my surroundings. Sometimes we may overwhelm ourselves with our thoughts, ideas, and goals, jumping from one thing to the next, when really we just need to slow down and appreciate what we have. And when the time is right, our hopes, dreams, and desires will come to see the light of day. As I reflect on my day today, spending time at the Cambodian-Vietnamese War Memorial, I think about how it's such a peaceful place. But the history behind it comes from a very dark era in Cambodia, as well as Vietnam, who stepped in to help the people of Cambodia. Up to 2 million people were killed during almost 4 years of the Cambodian genocide. For the people of this country to have been through such a dark history, you would never know just by the looks of it. Cambodian people always seem to laugh and smile, have such a good time, and always seem to be nice and pleasant. It's nice to see them smile. I feel such a sense of peace here, and I appreciate each and every bit of it. To see them enjoying themselves despite the dark history, it inspires me to keep going and seek better days ahead, always trying to remember to be as happy and optimistic as possible. As I begin to wind down for my evening and appreciate the sunset, I can't help but think about the chance I took giving up my job back in America to pursue my dreams to live abroad. I think about the day that I resigned. I felt a sense of freedom. I felt like a bird being released from a cage that was finally set free. Set free to finally start my journey that I constantly daydreamed and yearned for. I always wondered if it would ever happen. I finally took that leap of faith for my dreams that weighed so heavy on me. I tied all my loose ends, I packed up and left to pursue my dream. Seeing the world is what makes me happy and just about content as I could be for that given moment. I think about my journey and all my time that I spent here, which I cherish and value so much. It's now a part of me, but with the current pandemic, it feels very short-lived. Not only are most of the borders closed with limited amount of places to travel to and available flights, along with the risk that you take when you now travel, it has caused me to seemingly lose everything. I lost my job here, and the apartment that I was living in was sold to new owners, so I lost my place too. I felt like I lost everything all over again. Life is like being dealt a bad hand. With no control over a lot of the things that happen to us in our lives, it seems unwise to base our happiness on the things around us, whether it's money and a relationship for you, family and a career for the next person, or traveling and freedom for someone like me. As the world and the things of it become more and more unstable and seems hard to keep a hold of, like sand in your hand, it makes more sense to make sure that your happiness isn't based on the things that are not guaranteed. And knowing that I can't control everything around me as much as I would like to, or any of us would, the one thing that we can try to have control over is our own emotions. It takes a lot of practice to remain calm in the midst of your plans falling through. But my hope is for anyone who is struggling financially, mentally, emotionally, or physically, is for you to remain strong and know that you are not alone. I hope that you can learn to have your own happiness outside of any external factors that you have ever depended on for your own personal happiness. I have learned not to place my worth or happiness on anything outside of myself. That works best for me. We are all human and will make mistakes. Life isn't perfect and we must learn patience as we grow and evolve. I have learned to separate myself from the things that happen to me and try to remain as positive as I can be, even in the midst of a storm. We have our good days and our bad, but the most important thing for me in this matter is that I take the good with the bad and enjoy dancing in the rain.
You put me in the middle of a storm and this is what I'll do. I love the dances.
Oh, 1 mile in fog patches and showers early Friday, but improving to greater than 6 miles on Friday morning.
Stars shining bright.